Good morning, friends. If you're like me, you woke up this morning with a lot of anxiety and dread and anger and fear and uncertainty and maybe a whole host of other feelings and sensations and energy moving through your body. So I wanted to come on and first say hello and good morning. And then also offer up a few somatic practices and yogically inspired practices that I find really supportive when I feel a lot of sensations in my body and a lot of emotional energy in my body. So if this is something that you're interested in doing with me right now, please find yourself in a nice comfortable seat. Being overwhelmed by emotions is, it's challenging. It can really be challenging. Hey, Sally, welcome. And so tuning into the body, and what we know about emotional energy is that it lives both in our minds, right? There's a neurological component for sure. And then there's also a physiological component, where when we are activated, when emotions are really present in our system, they're also occurring in the body. And we have a whole bunch of research on the neurobiology of emotions to affirm that. So enough about the academics and the science. Some grounding practices that I find really helpful is really just first starting in a seated position, or you can do it standing, but having both of my feet firmly planted on the floor. So right now I'm sitting in a chair and I have both feet on the floor. And I'm going to do it alongside you if you're doing it with me right now. I'm going to do it as I speak. Because honestly, I feel a lot of energy in my body right now. And as I put my feet on the floor and begin to just send both my awareness and my breath, which is more of an imagination visualization thing, right? But beginning to tune into the sensations of the soles of my feet. The temperature, the pressure. I'm wearing socks, so I'm feeling that small film between the soles of my feet and the hard floor beneath me. And I'm taking just some nice, slow, steady breaths as I do so. Noticing what shifts and what stays the same. For me, there's this drawing downward that's taking place ever so slightly, ever so subtly. From here, and this is a really nice tip of the trade if you are feeling overwhelmed in the moment, right? You read a news article, you have an intense conversation. Again, putting the feet on the floor and then gently but firmly tapping the big toe onto the earth. Giving it a nice, firm press down. And again, being very gentle and noticing the shifts, just slowly. A few other good ones, placing your hands on your belly, so right below your belly button, left hand underneath right. And then sending your breath down into the lowest part of your belly. And again, with each of these things, just noticing. Next is placing it on your hands, on your heart. Sending your breath both into the front part of your chest, but then also the sides of your chest and your back body, really expanding that entire area of your body, noticing what you notice. A lot of times we either hold our breath in just specific parts of our bodies, right? So by consciously sending our breath to different parts of our bodies, especially in this central channel, we can shift our energy states, you know, and being mindful to do so again with a lot of gentleness, because sometimes manipulating our breath can be really intense, and we can sometimes be forceful with it, and that's not what I encourage folks to do. And then last but not least, the other thing that I find really helpful when there's a lot of sensations in my body, a lot of emotional energy, is both twisting. So again, feet on the floor, sitting down, being a foundation, and then just twisting a little bit. Twisting or gently rocking. Gently rocking, maybe doing some audible exhales as I do so. Again, not forcing anything, being, you know, there's so much harshness in the world, you know, so we got to be our own sources of gentleness. And, you know, even with the twisting, there is science behind it in terms of getting into the psoas muscles, which are really deep abdominal muscles that often get activated during fight or flight states. So just, you know, again, hips firmly rooted onto the earth, onto your chair, and just some gentle twists, maybe bringing the chest and the neck and the gaze into it. So these are things that I find really helpful when there is a lot of emotional energy in my body, which many of us are feeling right now with the US elections. I hope this is helpful, and if you are looking for community space, open, safe, which I know safe is a bit of a taboo word, but open, welcoming space for all of the many unique personal experiences that we, as Americans, then also other folks from throughout the world, because the US elections affect all of us, affect so much of the global community. But if you're looking for community space to share and process and speak openly, and then also practice listening empathically to each other, holding space for each other, I've got a post-election circle coming up on Sunday, November 8th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'd love for you to be there. I didn't put a description down yet, but I'll post that in a second, and I'll put some info there. Sending you so much love for however this moment in time is showing up for you and how you're showing up for it. Please reach out if there's any way I can be of support, or if you want to connect around anything. I'd love to be in touch. So from my home to yours, sending you a lot of love. All right.